Right now at noon, members of the DeForest community looking to recall a village trustee. How it's over a village's recent ban on fluoride. Plus, why a group of employees at the Wisconsin Historical Society is questioning the leadership's decision to not fly the pride flag this year. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Spreiter. New developments in the DeForest fluoride ban. It is now sparking recall efforts of a village trustee. Bill Landgraf was one of the primary voices speaking against fluoride when the village board voted on it months ago. Petitioners say Trustee Landgraf intimidated and acted disrespectfully toward village residents. More than 500 signatures have been collected. Petitioners will need about 1,400 signatures by July 17th to legitimize the recall.
This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is just the kind of individual do you want to have in a position where they are an authority and, in essence, someone you would want to look up to in a role of responsibility in your government? And the answer, we believe, is no.
Landgraf has not publicly commented on the recall attempt. The city of Madison is giving residents 5 opportunities to weigh in on the budget process this month amid uncertainty. An engagement session for the Public Works Division is scheduled for tonight at 6 at the Central Public Library. The city's finance director says agencies are planning as if federal funding will continue as usual, prioritizing those funds. However, the president's budget bill proposes rolling back Biden-era clean energy tax credits. Madison has relied heavily on those credits in the past.
To the total of about $13 million that we assume would be there for clean energy projects like solar on top of buildings, geothermal within new facilities that are within our building program.
More information can be found on the City of Madison's website. Right now, a woman is in custody in connection with a stabbing incident last night. Police were sent to Atticus Way around 11:20, where they found a man with a stab wound to his chest. That man was taken to the hospital and was later released with non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect was arrested without incident for second-degree reckless injury. Authorities are still searching for a woman who went missing from the Dane County Jail diversion program. The Dane County Sheriff's Office finds that Emily Dara was not at home and issued a warrant for her arrest. She is serving a 240-day sentence for her 4th OWI offense. If you know where she is, you're asked to call Madison area Crime Stoppers. A group of employees at the Wisconsin Historical Society are now calling the decision not to fly the pride flag the ultimate act of betrayal. They have raised that flag every year since 2019. Historical Society leadership tells staff they decided not to raise the flag to maintain nonpartisanship. This announcement follows Republican plans to cut the governor's budget, including funding for the Historical Society's new History Center. CEO Christian Overland met with Republican legislators who co-authored bills to ban political flags. For the first time, he awarded Legislator of the Year honors to Republicans on the Joint Committee of Finance.
Everybody had questions and comments, and none of them were happy about this decision. Someone did straight out ask if our funding was being threatened.
WHS leadership has not responded to multiple requests for comment. An employee speaking anonymously says staff received the cancellation email just 2 weeks after getting invitations to the May event. Well, we are drying things out today, but we're still dealing with that smoke outside. First Warn meteorologist Blaze Keller has your certified most accurate forecast. He's out on the weather patio, and we can just not shake that haze.
No, we cannot. Driving in today, it almost looked like there was fog, but it's actually obviously that smoke brought in thanks to northwesterly winds from those fires in Canada. We still have a air quality alert for all of Wisconsin, and for our area, that goes until 7 p.m. tonight due to that poor air quality. It looks like northwestern parts of the state have been freed from that air quality warning, but we are still dealing with that thick smoke overhead, which is causing unsensitive for some to unhealthy air quality across much of our viewing area, Josh. And for folks at home, you can see it. I mean, if you look outside, even up in the sky, it looks hazy because of that wildfire smoke. Eventually, that will start to clear on out here as we go further into the week, which is some good news. We'll finally get some fresh fresher air, some cleaner air to breathe. But we do have a little bit of that smoke, especially near the surface. So this is looking at that smoke that is kind of trapped, maybe within the valleys, especially along the Wisconsin River. That is what's causing the poor air quality. Not to mention, we've got allergies out here. So it's overall maybe a tough day for allergy sufferers or people sensitive to poor air. As I mentioned, that air quality alert will be allowed to expire at 7 o'clock tonight. So what does the air quality look like for tomorrow and the rest of the week? We'll take a look at that. And if there's any rain chances as well, that's in just a few minutes.
All right, Blaze, we'll see you later in the broadcast. Thank you. Voting is now live for Madison Magazine's Best of Madison. This year there are 5 sections with 150 categories of people, places, and things to choose from. Voting runs through June 30th, and you can cast 1 vote in each category. The winners will be revealed in the magazine's October issue. You can find a full list of the categories on channel3000.com. Middleton will be opening its newest park later this week. The new Lake Street Park will have a grand opening celebration at 4 Friday afternoon. The new park adds more public lakefront access and will act as another place to gather, play, and exercise. During Friday's celebration, Milligan Studios will be on hand with a printing press so attendees can make a souvenir to take home and commemorate the occasion. In college baseball, the Whitewater Warhawks are 1 win away from claiming the NCAA World Series title. This after they beat Messiah in Game 1, 18-3. Right now, it's all Whitewater in this one as the Warhawks are up on Messiah 19-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Wow. If Whitewater wins, they'll be national champions for the first time since 2014. Coming up on News 3 Now at noon, where Alaska Airlines is announcing its first European destination. Plus, what an international group is predicting about the United States' economic growth this year.
An international group projects that U.S. economic growth will hit the brakes this year. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, made of 38 member states, including the U.S., forecast the country's growth will slide to 1.5% in 2025 and 1.6% next year. That's a steep drop from last year's 2.8% growth. The group blamed new tariffs as one of the causes, with President Donald Trump's plan to double tariffs on foreign steel and aluminum set to kick in today. The OECD also predicts that global growth will slow to 2.9% this year, down from 3.3% in 2024. Alaska Airlines has announced its first European destination. Starting in May of 2026, the carrier will launch nonstop flights between Seattle and Rome. Alaska Airlines says the destination is the most requested among its rewards members. Tickets for flights to Rome will go on sale starting this fall. And this is shaping up to be the summer of the snack wrap wars. McDonald's has announced that it will bring back its popular chicken snack wraps on July 10th. The announcement came a day after Popeyes announced its all-new chicken wraps with a choice of classic, spicy, or honey mustard spread. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Here's a look at the stock numbers right now. The Dow is up 51 points, NASDAQ up 53, and the S&P 500 up 7 at this hour. Our Call for Action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. Call for action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. Up next, Pam Yankee has today's farm news, and Blaze returns with the first warn forecast. Then later on Live at 4, Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here to answer your plant questions. You can email them now to tips@channel3000.com. Welcome back. Let's check in now with Pam Yankee for the Midwest Farm Report. Hi, Pam.
Hi, Josh. Yeah, it's tough to see you through all the smoke this morning. I'm with you. At first, it looked like fog when I did my early show, and then you could kind of smell it. So do be careful if you've got to be outside working with that kind of stuff and quality air conditions on the alert. You're on the alert. You want to make a little smoke of your own? How about firing up a grill? The Wisconsin Pork Association's out there promoting a new phrase, a new theme, a new campaign to try to get consumers thinking about the affordable protein for the grill. They're calling it this year the Taste What Pork Can Do campaign. They're reintroducing it as a day when pork can solve a lot of tight schedule problems when it comes to a real meal, and also trying to really draw in younger generations that are looking at different recipe opportunities, and pork really can offer it for them. This is something that was launched courtesy of the National Pork Board, and they say that they're taking the message nationwide. Last time they did something like this was when they launched the Taste the Pork the Other White Meat, which was incredibly successful. They're hoping for the same with Taste What Pork Can Do. So if you see that at point of purchase areas, that's what it's all about, our pork producers trying to get the word out. Speaking of our pork producers, biosecurity is another thing that our pork producers are talking about. We'll get to that in just a moment. Final reminder, Friday is the day for the good folks up in Waniwak doing a fundraiser to help people's mental health in rural communities where resources are scarce. They've got a fundraiser on Friday evening at Summit Ridge in Waniwak, right off Highway 58. Great music that's going to be featured from 6 until 10. Please keep that in mind. All right, back to what I was mentioning earlier about our pork producers. Aside from trying to entice you into using pork for the grill, they're also talking about biosecurity. Why? Because it's just about that time. A lot of animals are going to start moving in Wisconsin for livestock expositions and, of course, our county fairs. Jeff Morris, who's our University Extension swine specialist, says, be sure that you're thinking biosecurity before you leave the farm with those animals. Make sure your equipment's all cleaned up. That includes your trailers and trucks. Then when you get to the fair, for example, don't be sharing equipment. Use your own and clean up after yourself, and make sure the hogs are not, mix and mingling there. Nose-to-nose contact with hogs is one of the biggest ways that we see disease and issues kind of move from one to another. So Jeff Morris encouraging everybody, think biosecurity before those animals ever leave the yard. So today in Chicago, barrel cheese, which remember is kind of going away, up 1/4 cent, $1.84 1/4. 40-pound block cheese unchanged today. Double A butter though, big 6-cent jump, $2.56 a pound for today. So yeah, I guess if I'm living with smoke, Josh, I might as well have the grill going. I don't know if the forecast is friendly but like you said, it's something that we've been living with in Wisconsin for the past couple of days.
Boy, you must know what we have going on in the studio right now. It's too bad you're not here because Angie Horkin is literally grilling steaks in the background later, so I know. We got to plan this better. You should be sitting right next to me. We could have the steak show right now.
Well, enjoy it and tell her I said hello.
I'll do that. All right, Pam, have a good one.
See you later.
And now Blaze has to try to get through his first warned weather forecast with this going on in the background. You might be able to hear it sizzling, too.
This is going to be tough. It's like right there, and it smells. I don't even think so good is accurately describing how good the steak is smelling and how I know it's going to taste just as good. We got that smoke overhead marked by these yellows and these oranges. That's that thicker smoke causing our air quality alert today. And that's the reason why our air quality is poor, unhealthy for all of us. But there is some good news. This is going to start to push its way south and eastward as we go into the evening hours, early morning hours on Thursday. Future Track has a lot of Wisconsin underneath, less smoky conditions. And then as we go further into Thursday, and that sticks around into Friday, we see those still hazy, but not as hazy, not that concentration of smoke overhead. That's staying up into parts of northern Canada as well as northern parts of Minnesota. So that means that our air quality forecast tomorrow is going to be moderate to good, where we don't see any shading. That's where we're seeing the lack of smoke. So we're starting to say goodbye to all of this, all these smoky conditions, which is some good news, especially for folks sensitive to the poor air. But as we look ahead to the rest of this week, we are looking at some rain as we go into our Friday. That continues into Saturday as well. So at that time of year where we start to get a little bit more activity, more of those heavier rain events, and we start to see that uptick as we go Friday into Saturday, really peaking there as we go into your day on Sunday. Not anticipating any severe weather, but just another healthy dose of some rain. A reminder, we still have dry conditions across northern Wisconsin, and we did see those moderate drought conditions expand across the state line. So we do need this rain. It obviously may keep you inside, but it is good because we still do need it. As we look ahead to Thursday, a weak high pressure system is going to be overhead. That's what's going to keep our skies generally on the partly sunny conditions and keep that rain at bay until we go into Friday. Here's another cold front moving on through, bringing in that chance for some showers, maybe a few thunderstorms as well. And then we see more of that rain move into the picture as we head later into Saturday. and that continues into Sunday. So closer to home, again, partly sunny conditions on Thursday, still keeping some of that haze around, but generally not as hazy as it has been. As we look into early Friday morning, maybe a shower, but the better chance I think is going to be into the afternoon hours as a weak little front moves on through here. We don't really squeeze out a whole lot of rain on Friday. The better chance is going to be on Saturday. More of those scattered showers, a few thunderstorms as well. As winds turn back out of the south, we're going to get some more moisture in the atmosphere, more ingredients for these storms to play with and potentially, become actual thunderstorms. My mouth is salivating. This is really tough. 70s today, 60s closer to Lake Michigan. There is a look at your 10-day forecast. We're hanging out in the 70s, so pretty seasonal for this time of year, maybe slightly below average. There's those shower and thunderstorm chances Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of next week. Then we possibly get back into those 80s by the middle of that following work week as well.
Not only do we have to wait for the steak, we have to get through Mr. Food here too. So this is just...
And I haven't eaten lunch yet, Josh.
Me neither. I have to wait until after the
tough.
show, otherwise I have a full stomach. So
I'm eyeing that steak.
All right, Blaze. Thank you. Well, let's see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
This time of year, we get lots of requests for recipes that are lighter, fresher, and ones where you don't have to heat up the kitchen. So rather than suggesting just any old salad, we came up with an Asian-inspired chicken salad that is incredible. We start by sauteing a few chicken breasts that we've cut up in a little sesame oil just until they're cooked through. Now we take those out of the pan and add a bit more oil along with some sesame seeds and minced garlic. Once they're golden, we add some soy sauce, vinegar, sugar, and a little vegetable oil. And we'll let that simmer. That'll be our dressing. While this is doing its thing, we add some snow peas and carrots, our cut up chicken, and the dressing to our Chinese cabbage. And all that's left to do is toss everything together, and what we end up with is an incredible main dish salad that comes together in minutes. So if you're looking for a change of pace dinner idea, go online and get the recipe for our Chinese cabbage and chicken salad. One forkful is all it'll take and you'll fall in love with it. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a fresh and tasty way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Nice.
After the break, there she is. Angie Horkin for the Wisconsin Beef Council is cooking up some steaks perfect for Father's Day. All right, finally, the moment has arrived. Angie Horkin for the Wisconsin Beef Council joins us now. You're helping us get ready for Father's Day.
I am. I picked some, actually I picked all ribeye steak recipes this month. So
Okay.
like if you go to As Seen on TV on beeftips.com, I've got 5. But the beauty of these recipes is you do not have to use a ribeye steak. You can substitute any grill-ready steak. So maybe
A steak of your choice.
like you said, if you're heading to the supermarket, maybe like strips are on sale,
Yep.
T-bones, tenderloins, even top sirloin, it's grill ready. Now, like those steaks that need a little love that aren't as tender, that might not be perfect for this because you want to marinate them. You know, like a chuck steak or a round steak, the eye around. You know what? A chuck eye, though, if you see those are tender. You could put the rub on those and grill them. So pretty flexible.
All right.
So one of the ribeye steak recipes is just a grilled ribeye with a little salt and pepper and then a fresh tomato tapenade. So
Okay.
4 ingredients: halved cherry tomatoes, black olives, sliced black olives, some fresh Parmesan, I've got the shredded, and then fresh basil. Super easy, mix that all up.
Okay.
You can definitely do that ahead of time so the flavors kind of meld, or just do that while your steak's resting. You don't forget, after we grilled these, so I used a meat thermometer and I checked the temp. For medium rare, you want to bring them up to 135. Let them rest like you do like your larger premium roast at the holidays, because then all those juices will settle back into their pockets. So when you're carving, slicing, it won't run out on the plate. But super easy. And you know what? This fresh tomato tapenade is perfect on any steak.
All right.
Okay, so the second recipe, I've got a grilled ribeye here, and I put a smoky paprika rub on it. So I've got smoked paprika, sugar, a a little chili powder, some black pepper, and then a ground red pepper. Got a little bit of heat to it. So if Dad likes it kind of spicy.
Some of them do, yeah.
Yeah. I just rubbed this on both sides of the steak. I saved some, and then I've got some potato wedges. So I took a couple big russets, and I par cooked them in the microwave, just to soften them, because otherwise they take a long time on the grill. And tossed them with some oil, so extra virgin olive oil and some of this rub, and then grilled these alongside the ribeye, because these steaks are about 1 inch, 3/4 to 1 inch. I like to set my timer for about 5 minutes a pound, or 5 minutes a side, flip them, and then do another 5, and then check, because you don't want to go too far. If Dad likes it medium rare, you want to not go too far. But all the times, temperatures, grilling charts are on beeftips.com. Click on As Seen on TV on the homepage, and you'll find all the ribeye recipes, a steak swap substitution PDF, grilling tips, everything you need to know.
Thank you, Angie.
You're welcome.
Sorry, Blaze. I took up all your time.
I am.
Good grilling weather.
Those steaks look better than I do. So 70s with air quality alert through 7 o'clock tonight. Clear skies through the rest of the week.
Time to dig in.